This is the ninth tutorial, and it's a list of the special optional rules that we'll be using, as well as rules changes. The first rule change is the aforementioned difference in aircraft classes, class 1, 2, and 3, with the difference between the classes leading to one strategic hex, one time only jump start on an interception. We illustrated that in an earlier tutorial. The second is a special NATO rule where a single aircraft squadron is half as easy to detect. So Soviet detection attempts or non-American detection attempts are cut by 50%, and that is in the rules package. There's the optional detection rule that we mentioned earlier, basically satellite communications for the Americans and the Russians. In-flight refueling will allow units to fly twice as far if they're American or Russian, but it costs twice as much. Anti-radiation missiles are such that damage to air defense units reduces the air defense capability by 1 for each strike. The ground units that are out of supply remain in their formation, but defend as if in movement to contact formation. Hasty assault and deliberate assault do not alter their defense strength, only the offense strength, but they still pay the same supply point. In other words, don't go into that formation unless you're fairly certain the enemy won't be attacking you. Naval unit movement is calculated in each action stage by the total number of naval units available to that side divided by 3. And no naval unit may move more than once in a particular game turn. So if they've moved, they've got to be rotated 90 degrees. U.S. aircraft carriers have a combat air patrol extended from 1 strategic hex to 2 strategic hexes. This is a change made by the game designer. The U.S. supply head must be able to trace 20 hexes not only from where it's located to a port on the operational or strategic map, but furthermore must trace a 20 hex line of communications from any ocean map edge to its location. And this basically represents the supplies of ships, or rather ships along the line of communications coming off map to the supply head, and then going from the supply head to the designated port. Detected naval units that are beyond detection range at the end stage of a turn become undetected again. This applies to all naval units, and this assumes that satellites have been destroyed and that there's electronic jamming of those assets. Ships and aircraft can make detection attempts against non-moving and non-firing enemy naval units, and can therefore attack them and detect them as a part of the same mission. So these are the rules changes and the optional rules used from both Gulf Strike and from Aegean Strike.